What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got a disgustingly degenerate duel for you guys to check out, and this one showcases that the Gem Knight FTK from last format is still 100% kicking and alive. This is TCG legal, and yeah, this is the current ban list. You can still do the Gem Knight FTK, and you really don't even have to make that much adjusting to the actual core strategy of the Gem Knight FTK. For the most part, all you got to do is incorporate this one little random tech card that is Defuse, which actually lets you put your Master Diamond back in your extra deck and then summon it again. I always thought that Master Diamond going to 1 on our recent ban list, I thought it was kind of a misguided hit. I said that I would have actually just banned outright Lapis Lazuli. She's the random burn card in Gem Knights. I've never really thought that she feels like a Gem Knight, to be honest. She just feels like a random card. It's like, you know, Gem Knights are a beatdown deck, and she's like this random burn damage card, and she's the only one that does burn damage in the deck, so doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But let me go ahead and roll it, and I will of course explain what's going on, but for the most part it is very similar to the old Gem Knight FTK. So he's going first, of course, and gonna open up with Unexpected Die. His opponent even has Ash Blossom, which, I mean, I guess you can say that that wasn't the worst time to use Ash Blossom, because, you know, if you see Unexpected Die, you don't know if you're playing against Metaphos or some other random deck, maybe it can be powerful. I probably would just let it go, but whatevs. He does actually hit it, and Lapis is going to be summoned, and then Brilliant Fusion is going to be activated. That's going to go for Zirconia, and what's important here is you want to get Black Dragon in the graveyard early, because you're going to summon it back from the graveyard, and Black Dragon is a card that's like really crazy. So you're gonna go for Phantom Quartz, which I still think is probably top 3 when it comes to like the Link Vrains card. This card is just ridiculous. Once this card is summoned, you're gonna add Gem Knight Fusion, and since you have so many cards in your graveyard now, so that you have 3 cards, you're actually going to go ahead and summon that Black Dragon out. The reason that you're doing this is because you want to go ahead and banish all of those Gem Knight cards so that you can put them right back in your deck, and you can actually fusion summon into Lady Brilliant Diamond, my favorite, well, my second favorite card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Lady Brilliant Diamond can tag herself out into Master Diamond, and now you can actually trade in that Black Dragon to go for Mrs. Radiant. And it's important because when Black Dragon leaves the field, it gets you 3 cards from your deck. So it's like a super, basically you go super plus. And at this point, I don't see how you couldn't FTK, because you're getting 3 cards out of Black Dragon, and a lot of builds, a lot of the Gem Knight FTK builds were using Black Dragon because it is such an absurd card. You're gonna go for Zirconia, you're getting Crimson Rose, or excuse me, Crystal Rose in the grave. That's gonna be used. I believe that Lady Brilliant Diamond was banished to summon that. And at this point, it's just kind of simple resource management. You see Lapis was sent to the graveyard, or excuse me, Lazuli was sent to the graveyard. It gets Lapis back. Now you have Lapis Lazuli on field, and you see how many monsters are on the field. You've got like 6 monsters on the field. I believe everything has been special summoned, so that's 3,000 damage. Master Diamond is going to just go ahead and copy Lapis Lazuli, which is another 3,000 damage, and this is generally where you wouldn't be able to do the FTK, but as I said earlier, with the addition of Defusion in the deck, all you have to do is send your Master Diamond back to your deck. You then get your Gem Knight Fusion back out of your graveyard. I've said it multiple times. Sometimes Gem Knight players will fusion summon like 7 times in a turn, and then all you have to do is use all your Gem Knights on the field to go for Master Diamond again, and then you just burn your opponent for the last 2,000 damage, and GG no re. I mean, it's not like the I wouldn't say that it's the most honorable win condition, but Gem Knight FTK was never the most honorable win condition. And you do have to go ahead and summon this Black Dragon, because if you don't, then you won't actually have the damage. You would have only had 1,500 burn damage when your opponent would have been at 2,000 damage. So yeah, Gem Knight FTK is still 100% and legal. I'm sure that there are a couple of you degenerates that might be interested to see what the deck actually looks like. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Okay, so this is what the deck looks like on paper, and I'd actually be willing to bet that almost nothing about this deck has actually changed, other than really a couple of cards being added into the main deck, and then obviously you can't run any more than 1 Master Diamond anymore. But for the most part, this Gem Knight build is still kind of the same FTK that you were running last format, just with minor adjustments. I mean, Defusion is a card that basically lets you cheat the ban list, because Master Diamond the 1 was supposed to kind of make it so that this FTK didn't exist anymore. As I said before, I think just banning Lapis Lazuli would have been a much better hit, because then you wouldn't be able to exploit this. But yeah, just using this card, Defusion, basically lets you get more copies of Master Diamond. And when you run the Predaplant engine in here, keep in mind that this card is actually searchable. It has Fusion in the name, so it's rather easy to get to if you happen to already have your Brilliant Fusion You know, when you make Phantom Quartz, you're most likely going to search Gem Knight Fusion. It's really the only other card that you kind of need to search. So yeah, this FTK, I mean, how consistent is it compared to like the Goki FTK and the Infinity FTK, especially the Goki one, which only requires 2 cards? But I'm just telling you guys that it is still out there and it does actually work. Obviously, there's not a lot of backup plan with this deck, but you know, we did see Gem Knights do fairly well at like YCS Atlanta and stuff like that. And some of those builds didn't really have backup plans, although some of them could actually like link spam and do some other plays. This one, maybe not so much.